Hello. Now in this lecture we will see 8086 processor in the minimum mode configuration and the maximum mode configuration. So both the designs, minimum and maximum mode designs, we will see here. Out of that, first of all, we start with that minimum mode configuration. As we know that min max bar pin is very important and that will decide the mode of operation of the microprocessor. When that min max bar is equal to 1, processor is set in the minimum mode operation. And when that min max bar is equal to 0, processor works in maximum mode operation. So as that minimum mode configuration is to be discussed now, that mn/mx bar is equal to 1. It is the uniprocessor mode. It means that entire operation inside that system will be handled by 8086 CPU. There is no coprocessor NDP 8087 or IO processor 8089 to support their corresponding functions. Every control operation will be handled by 8086 alone. That's why this particular mode that is called as a uniprocessor mode. Now what are the major components? Those are enlisted here. First is 8086 processor, main processor, CPU, which is at the central position. Then next is 8284 clock generator for generation of the clock signal, reset signal and ready signal. Normally it is to be connected from the left side. Then 8282 octal latches for demultiplexing of the address bus. Now I stated that 8282 is a octal latch and total number of multiplex signals are 21 in case of 8086 processor. So that such type of 3 sets of octal latches are required here. 3 sets of 8282. Then next is 8286, that is octal data bus transceiver for buffering of data bus. As we know that external data bus is 16-bit, so that 2 such type of 8286 transceivers are required. And then the last component which has been stated here is external 3 to 8 decoder like 74138 to generate device specific control signals. These device specific control signals are applicable to memory operation and also IO operation. So these are the major components which are required here. Processor will be at the central place. Clock generator from the left side normally. And then octal latch, octal transceiver and the decoder will be generally on the right side. Okay, I use that term generally because in the designs you will find the various orientations making connection of these components. Now in case of minimum mode operation, what that 8086 processor supports, given at the bottom. It addresses 1 megabyte of memory space because 20 bits of physical address is generated here. So 1 megabyte of memory. It addresses 64 kilobyte IO space. In fact, it is 64K IO devices, each of 8 bit, or 32K IO devices, each of 16 bit. In the features of 8086, we have seen this particular part. And these two spaces, memory and IO spaces, are totally isolated from each other. Then in minimum mode configuration, processor directly supports the basic control signal. It provides basic control signals like data transmit slash receive bar, DTR bar, then data enable bar, DN bar, then address slash enable, ALE, then M slash IO bar, memory IO bar, then read bar, RD bar, then write bar, WR bar, and then INTA bar signal. All these signals will be given by processor itself. And now we will see that particular design here. In this particular design, at the central place, as I stated even earlier, that here is that CPU processor 8086. Processor must be operated in the minimum mode configuration. That's why at the top, MN slash MX bar is connected to logic 1 plus 5 volt. So it is certain that processor operates in the minimum mode. Then from the left side is connection of 8284 clock generator shown here. It is a clock generator that will be giving clock signal, reset signal and ready signal to the microprocessor. Of course, this operation of generation of the clock has been already studied in detail earlier. Normally crystal is connected as the source of frequency. That's why FC bar of that clock generator is connected to ground shown here, and crystal of 15 megahertz getting divided by 3, so that clock of 5 megahertz generated and it is given to the microprocessor. Then for power on reset operation, a power on reset circuit on the extreme left containing resistor, capacitor, diode and that switch, that is connected to RES bar input of that 8284 clock generator. This entire operation already we have seen earlier. You need to write some points related to this in your explanation, and for that purpose you need to refer my earlier videos. Then on the right side of that microprocessor here is first of all 3 to 8 decoder 74138, which will accept from the processor MIO bar signal, read bar signal, write bar signal. And this decoder, it will be actively generating 4 control signals on the right side, and these are memory read bar, memory write bar, IO read bar and IO write bar. And apart from this device specific control signal, processor directly gives INTA bar signal here. So these 5 signals are important for control of IO operations and memory operations. These are the control signals. Now next, below that 3 to 8 decoder in the design will be a setup for demultiplexing of those multiplex lines and buffering of that corresponding data. So here are 3 sets of 8282 latches, octal latches, where that multiplex signals 21 address data A/D and address status A/S, those are simultaneously connected. This set of octal latches are strobed by using ALE signal here from the processor. At the output of these octal latches, we are getting 20 bits of address A0 to A19 and 1 signal BHE bar. And then below that will be 2 sets of 8286 data bus buffers, data bus transceivers, octal buffers. And for these octal buffers here, only data bus section will be given as input here. At the output, we are getting that buffered data bus of 16-bit D0 to D15. And we know that in the operation of that 8286 octal buffer data bus transceiver, there are 2 signals associated with. These are DT/R bar, data transmit/receive bar. This signal is connected to transmit pin of that octal buffer, and DEN bar signal which is connected to OE bar pin of that octal buffer here. Okay, the specific pins of that octal buffer are not shown here in this particular diagram. You can rewrite. DTR bar connected to T pin, transmit, and DEN bar is connected to OE bar pin, output enable bar. Okay, as we know that DTR bar will define the direction of data transfer through that octal buffers, and DEN bar is used to enable that octal buffer itself during that data transmissions. Already we have seen the function of each individual part in this particular design in my earlier lectures. So if you are observing, if you are listening all those lectures in a proper way, there should not be any confusion, any problem to understand this. And you need to write in brief the function of this particular design below this. So this is about the design in the minimum mode operation. Now, 8086 maximum mode configuration and its corresponding design. As I stated earlier, in order to configure processor in the maximum mode, that min max bar should be 0. So that maximum mode will be set in the operation. And maximum mode, we know that it is a multi-processor mode. It means that 8086 processor alone may not be present in the system. There is a provision for making connection to NDP 8087, which is used for floating point operations, or IOP 8089 for performing IO data transfer operations. There may be the connection of these type of auxiliary devices. That's why it is called as a multiprocessor mode here. So processor 8086 alone will be performing only control operation, general control operation and general data processing, while the floating point operations will be straightway passed on to 8087 NDP to carry out. The IO data transfer operation like block data transfer will be directly passed on to 8089 IOP, and that way there is a functional distribution. So it is a multiprocessor mode. Now what are the major components? Here is a list. Main CPU 8086 main CPU, main processor. Then from the left side will be clock generator 8284. 8284 clock generator for generation of clock, reset and ready signals. Then on the right side will be octal latches 8282 for demultiplexing of address bus. Then 8286 will be octal data bus buffer, octal transceiver for buffering of data bus, 2 sets. And then in place of the 3 to 8 decoder, which was there in case of minimum mode, here is 8288. That is a bus controller for generation of device specific control signals. Now here in 8086 maximum mode, what it supports? As usual, it supports 1 megabyte of memory space. It addresses 1 megabyte memory. It addresses 64 kilobyte IO space. Again, 64K IO each of 8-bit or 32K IO each of 16-bit. Then here that 8288 bus controller, it generates device specific control signals. So device specific control signals are generated by 8288 bus controller. And then as I just now stated towards the beginning, that 8086 processor performs overall control and general processing, whereas dedicated bus master devices carry out the specific operations. And here are the 2 bus master devices, auxiliary devices, which are shown at the bottom. NDP, numeric data processor 8087, which performs floating point operation. IOP 8089, it controls IO data transfer operation. So these are the dedicated auxiliary processor, bus masters. Now the actual design here. Design of processor 8086 in the maximum mode. Now first of all, as usual, processor at the central place, 8086 CPU, where that min max bar is connected to ground, so that maximum mode is ensured. Some of the control signals are shown here, active low status signals on the right side, multiplex address data and address status on the right side. Some signals will be coming from the left side from that 8284 clock generator. You can observe it. Here is a clock generator 8284 giving clock signal, reset signal and ready signal. Then this clock generator as usual will be clocked, or it is connected with a crystal of 15 megahertz divided by 3, so that clock of 5 megahertz will be given to the processor, and also that same clock will be needed for 8288 bus controller. That's why it is passed on. To the extreme left of that clock generator 8284 is a power on reset circuit, which I have already explained earlier. It means that there is nothing special in this particular design. All the components which we have studied in detail earlier, we are going to integrate them together. Now next, on the right side of that CPU 8086, here is the bus controller. Clock is connected to that bus controller. It is extremely important. Then status signal S0 bar, S1 bar, S2 bar connected as input. And then this bus controller will be generating a set of control signals on the right side. Interrupt acknowledge bar, INTA bar. Memory read command, MRDC bar. Memory write command, MWTC bar. Advanced memory write command, AMWC bar. IO read command, IORC bar. IO write command, IOWC bar. And advanced IO write command, AIOWC bar. So these are straight control signals which are used for managing memory and IO devices. And apart from that, 3 more control signals here. ALE signal, which is required for demultiplexing of those multiplex signals here, which are connected to set of octal latches. ALE signal connected to 3 set of octal latches. And then DT/R bar signal and DN signal, that is also given by this 8288 bus controller. Very important that 8288 bus controller gives DN signal which is active high, DTR bar signal as it is, and these signals are meant for, those are connected to 8286 octal data bus transceiver, octal buffers, which is at the bottom. So see here that demultiplexing setup and that buffering of data bus here at the bottom. Demultiplexing will be handled by 8282, 3 sets of octal latches. ALE signal from controller will be straightway connected to strobe line. To this set of octal latches here, address data, address status signals, multiplex signals are connected as input. To the output side of that octal latches will be A0 to A19 and BHE bar signal. It is a demultiplexed address bus and control signal BHE bar. Then for these 2 sets of 8286 octal buffer, octal transceivers, that DTR bar signal from the bus controller is connected to transmit pin, and the DEN signal of that controller will be inverted by using one inverter, so to make it DEN bar, active low signal, and then this active low signal is connected to OE bar of that octal buffer. And as usual, the input for that octal buffer will be 16 bits of data bus. So at the output we are getting that buffered data bus, D0 to D15. And that way, on the extreme right of that maximum mode design, at the top will be a set of control signals. Middle will be the demultiplexed address bus A0 to A19, and at the bottom will be buffered data bus D0 to D15. So that way three sets of buses are generated